Emulate the taste of like non-chicken nuggets. So these nuggets are made from chicken, but they're made to emulate the taste of non-chicken nuggets. Dope.
Oh, that's much better.
Edit all the blather out of your videos because my time is very precious.
Oh, that's fire.
Make it less teal and more
Cerulean? Sure.
Replace your background with something more fun? The cold void of outer space.
Let's boost that sound quality. Emulate the taste of non-chicken nuggets. Emulate the taste of non-chicken nuggets. Dope.
It needs more style. It needs more clips, more gifs, more. Well, I might have made it too gnarly.
Hello. Welcome to Descript and SquadCast Community Town Hall. I'm Christiana, Community Manager here at Descript, and I'm joined by our lovely new Community Manager, Arielle. Welcome, Arielle.
Hey, thanks for having me. So excited to be here. I love that woman on the commercial who says gnarly. It's like plays in my head when I'm like going to sleep at night.
Same. Yeah, she really touches my Californian roots. But I'm just so overjoyed to be able to finally be on a screen with you in public now that the cat's out of the bag. How are you feeling? Oh. Can you hear me?
Had a little hiccup over there. I had something playing in the background. Classic. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling awesome.
Awesome. You know what? If you were at our season 5 event a couple days ago, sometimes we have technical difficulties, but we roll through it, and that's what matters.
We must improv. It's who we are.
Exactly. It's who we are. And actually, that is what we're going to cover today. Who are we now? Now that Descript and SquadCast are together, we're going to cover all of that. But before we jump in, I'm just going to share slides so y'all know what to expect. But while we're doing that, while I'm blabbering, we have a poll running that is asking you a little bit more about yourself. Are you a Descript user? Are you a SquadCaster? Both? Neither? Let us know. And then maybe also tell us where you're tuning in from and what you create about. What's your podcast about? What's your video about? Let us know. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, this is what y'all are in for today. We're going to cover the basics, what this means for you, how we got here, of course. You'll meet Arielle, hear a little bit more about her journey, and then diving in a little bit more to the details on how you get access, whether you're a Descript user, a SquadCaster, or both, or neither. Community information, what's happening, how are we joining forces here, and then we'll do some Q&A with Arielle and also special guest Zach, co-founder of SquadCast. Crowdcast tips for success. We've got Marcelo in the Q&A section. It's right above the chat, I think, little question mark box. Ask your questions. He'll be firing off answers, helping you out. And we'll also bring some of those up for Q&A at the end. And then, of course, use the chat for your reactions, commentary, etc. If Crowdcast freezes, hit refresh. That'll normally do the trick. But we're also streaming to YouTube right now, so you can hop over there if you're having any trouble. This session, just like all of our events, is recorded. We'll send out the replay in a follow-up email. And if you need any more help, check out help.descript.com. You can find all of the information that we will talk through today there. So definitely bookmark that. And I would be remiss if our two community managers did not mention our Discord. We hit 15,000 folks in there yesterday.
Damn.
Maybe the new SquadCasters.
Welcome, SquadCasters.
Yes. Upped our numbers. So I'm going to pull up a little QR code here, scan that. That says 13,000 plus creators. That's still true, but now it's 15,000 plus. Join us there. We're both in there. Our support team hangs out in there. And then also just a huge group of creators that are helping each other out, asking questions, all of that good stuff. And yeah, good time to say, if you're a SquadCaster joining us for the first time, welcome. officially welcome to the Descript community. I'm so glad that you're here. And yeah, I'm just stoked for this next hour and stoked for you to join the Descript fold.
Stoked and gnarly.
She clearly, that commercial clearly influenced my speech pattern.
Yes.
So
yes, we're changed. We're changed people.
Exactly. Okay, well let's jump in if that works for you, Arielle. There's some new folks in the chat or watching today. Maybe some folks that know SquadCast or only know Descript. Could you just tell us like what is SquadCast? What is Descript? Like what's happening here?
Yes, SquadCast is a cloud recording studio that empowers creators to record audio and video in studio quality with anyone, anywhere, and at any time. How's that line? Wow. Memorized, but also true. Yeah, I've been a Squadcaster for 3.5 years. I've only been working at the company for 3 years. So that means, yes, folks, I used SquadCast before I worked there. And I love it. And huge fan of the company, huge fan of the founders, Zach and Rock, who are hanging out in the chat today. And I believe we're going to see Zach up on stage a little bit later. But SquadCast is the best. And just a huge fan of remote recording. I'm a podcaster, but I also see the future will be one for video. So I'm excited to explore that a little bit too.
Totally. Cool. And then what's Descript?
Yeah, it's an all-in-one editing platform. And I'm a little bit less rehearsed on this line, but I have been using Descript for the past few months to edit my podcasts. I have a few podcasts about the podcast industry. And I use it to bring in audio from, right now, I mostly host shows that don't need remote recording, but some of them do. So I my audio, I make my edits, and then I make my audiograms. So it's really an all-in-one tool for me, both on the production side and to the marketing. So it's been great, and I'm so excited to learn more about it so that I can make more content, reach more people, and find somebody their next favorite podcast, which is hopefully my podcast, which is a podcast recommendation podcast.
There you go. Yeah, perfect. Well, you kind of like alluded to it with those two descriptions, but what does this mean? The fact that we're coming together, like what does that mean for creators? If you could like put it into a sentence.
Yeah, I mean, it really is going to be a game changer. And I am saying that, yes, but I've also seen people on social media say that, and in our emails say that right when we made the announcement 2 days ago. Yeah. The overwhelming consensus was this is just going to be huge for podcasters and for video creators. Anybody who needs to be connecting with collaborators remotely, this is going to be huge, because what it means is that you can now record with somebody, record with up to 10 people. You can take those files immediately. They're going to be available within Descript, and you can start your editing process. So it is all there on one app. Bottom line, it's just going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Like you'll be able to script, to edit, to record, to publish and share with the world, all in Descript, and all for one subscription price, which is pretty wild. I think that's like the key here is like, no matter if you were using Descript before, you now get remote recording for absolutely free. And if you were using SquadCast before, you get Descript's full editing suite and SquadCast for a cheaper price. And we'll jump into those details in a bit.
We promise.
Yeah, we'll get into the deets. We're just having fun so far. But okay, so what exactly is remote recording? Like what is that?
Yeah, anytime that you need to record with somebody else, that is remote recording. It could be that you have a co-host who lives in Hawaii and you live in New York. It could be that you're a solo podcaster, but you record interviews with people all over the world. It could be that you host a show and then, yes, you also have guests, but then those guests might have legal representation who need to be on the screen with them. That is all possible within SquadCast, and now SquadCast by Descript. Recording remotely means that you are connecting over the internet, and a lot of people will think, okay, maybe Zoom can accomplish this task, but Zoom, we have found, is not really sufficient for a lot of creators unless you press a million buttons and make sure that everybody's recording locally, which usually requires a bit of technological know-how from everybody involved. So SquadCast, and now SquadCast by Descript, just makes that so much easier. So I'm so excited that it's all come together. And yeah, recording remotely for SquadCast means that your files are recorded locally, which means you're not recording the glitchy internet connection. So even if you do hear some glitchy internet sounds, that will not show up in your final recording.
Awesome.
Unreal.
Awesome. And yeah, the fact that we're here, like our relationship though between Descript and SquadCast goes back a little bit more. So like how did we get here from your perspective?
Yeah, what's great about the creator community, and I'll speak specifically to the podcast community, is that people are extremely friendly and extremely collaborative. So
Yeah.
we have, been friends at podcast events for the past few years, Descript and SquadCast.
Mhm.
And you and I, we've known each other for a while too. And
Yeah.
I've been on Descript panels. I believe there have been Descript people who have been on SquadCast panels. We
Yeah.
all just love working together and figuring out the best way to serve content creators, figuring out what integrations are going to make the most sense for folks, and then making sure that they know exactly how to use those. So we started chatting a long time ago about integration. SquadCast and Descript have been integrated in the past.
Yep.
Now it is just an all-encompassing integration, and it will be more and more as the months go on. But up until I believe we made the announcement, I want to say around a year ago, that you could record in SquadCast and edit in Descript, press of one button. And now it's just going to be even easier. But yeah, we have a long-standing relationship. We're good friends, good long friends.
We are. Yeah, it was exactly a year ago at the last podcast movement that you and I did a panel together.
Yes, I remember.
And now here we are under the same roof, which, well, remotely, of course, metaphorically. Awesome. Okay.
Keep the mug.
Yeah, perfect. And the
Screenshot
t-shirt.
that, put it on social, tag me. I'll retweet you.
There you go. There you go. Okay, I want to ask a couple more questions about you and your journey into
I would love that.
podcasting. But really quick, folks, just a reminder, use the ask a question or the Q&A section for your questions, and we will answer those live. I see a lot of awesome questions coming in the chat. We will get to those, we promise. We got a whole 45 minutes left, but in the meantime, you can send those over to Marcelo, and he'll get you your answers. Okay, Arielle, you are somewhat of a people have called you all kinds of podcasting icons,
All
etc.
these mean names. No, just kidding. People are very nice.
Yeah, you definitely, you're a presence in this space. And why podcasting for you?
Yeah, I started listening to podcasts in 2014 and immediately was just obsessed with being able to consume content through my ears. So
Yeah.
when I first started listening, I wasn't thinking about podcasting in terms of a career. I really was just amazed at the breadth and depth of knowledge that I was gaining by listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
And then in 2017, I was like, I want to do whatever it takes to work in the podcast industry. So I started a podcast recommendation newsletter that I still run to this day. So it's almost 7 years of running that newsletter. And that newsletter has allowed me to go to conferences, to meet podcasters, to figure out what is trending, to just be exposed to so many incredible stories and incredible people around the world by way of audio. And, over time, I've worked in different aspects of the audio space. I've worked as a studio manager. I've booked people on podcasts. I've done PR and marketing. I've worked as an in-app curator. And then for the past 3 years, I've been working at SquadCast as the head of community and content, and now to Descript. So I'm really into creator tools that help podcasters, help video creators, help people who do both streamline and make the best content possible so that they can reach their ideal listeners. So that's my mission. My mission is helping creators find ideal listeners and helping listeners find the best podcast for them.
Awesome. Well, I know I speak for the whole Descript team when we say we're really lucky to have you with us. And podcasters, I don't know if this is official branding line, but something we say is like podcasting was our first love, like our first users, the first folks that like really dug into Descript were audio creators. And we are not forgetting our roots. And what I love about us coming together is like sort of staking us in the ground as like we just love the podcast community.
Yeah. And I think something that's really great about where podcasting is heading is that you're going to hear a lot of people ask the question, do I need to be recording video for my podcast? Do I already have such a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
I don't have many resources. I don't know how to record video or edit video. And my answer to that is, if you can record and edit video, if it is not that hard, it is something that you should at least be trying out for social media, especially as algorithms change and YouTube is bumping up their ability to YouTube is bumping up their ability to serve podcasters. So I think it is definitely something that we're going to be focusing on in the coming months is educational resources for video creators who now have podcasts or podcasters who now want to incorporate video. So you can expect some of that going forward for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what our panel is on next week at Podcast Movement is video podcasting.
Yes,
so
it is.
Very exciting stuff. Okay, awesome. Well, maybe thank you for giving us that background.
Of course.
Of course. And maybe now it's time for us to jump into the facts. If that works
imagine
for you.
some sort of Descript stock music that's like, the news flashing. Dun 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 dun. Boom. Facts.
Breaking. How to link your accounts. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, let's jump into it and cover what everybody is wanting to know here. Keep your eye, as we talk through this, folks, keep your eye on the chat. I know our bestie Marcelo will be sending helpful links and such in there, where you can continue to read this stuff after. Okay, so let's start with the Descript folks out there. How do Descript customers get access to SquadCast?
Yeah, it's a great question, and some people may not believe it, but you have access to it. It's pretty easy. All you have to do is make an account and then link those accounts. And you might think, but wait, that seems too easy. And that's the truth. It is that easy.
Perfect. And that's basically the same thing for Squadcasters as well.
Yeah. I had somebody email me actually and say, hey, I don't quite understand, you know who you are. Shout out to you because I appreciate you very much. They were like, hey, I don't really get it. It seems like I'm going to be paying less. And I was like, no, you do get it. You are going to be paying less.
Exactly. Yeah. Some folks in Discord are like, are you serious? Like, what's the catch? There is no catch. So right now we're in this phase 1, right? Where you need to have 2 separate accounts right now and then just link them. So if you're that's just it for now. And then eventually we'll move towards a space where you just need to have 1 account, Descript.
And there have already been some amazing YouTube creators who have made tutorials on how to link your accounts. So if you just go to YouTube and search, how to link SquadCast to Descript, you'll scroll down a little bit, you'll find what you're looking for. And we'll probably make those videos soon too, but thank you to the folks who got there before us.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, that's always a fun experience for me when I'm watching a creator's how-to tutorial.
Better than you.
Yeah. And I'm like, whoa, that's a really good point. Great point. I'm going to describe it that way. But yes, in the chat, Marcelo just threw links. We have step-by-step instructions of if you're a Squadcaster, this is what you do. And if you're a Descript user, this is what you do. So just click through that. But yeah, you'll just link your accounts. And yeah. And if you're a Squadcaster, Arielle just said this, but if you're a Squadcaster, you just will stop getting billed by SquadCast. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. That is correct. And Marcelo wants us to point out that if you go to the Help Center, there are so many articles that will help you understand what this integration means. Just go to help.descript.com. And also he's going to drop the link.
Sweet. Okay, great. And we can get into more specific questions about this during the live Q&A. I'm seeing some awesome ones. But yeah, jump to those resources. You can get this done in just a few clicks. So.
That's a good question. Dave Jackson, hey, how are you? Has a really great question that maybe we should address right now, which is what if you're both? What if you already use SquadCast and Descript? What do you do then?
Yeah.
Consolidate.
That's right. You'll just link your accounts. You'll be prompted to do so through Descript. And then you'll just only get billed through Descript. So that's that. One step ahead. Cool. Okay, great. So apart from the product side of things, and again, we'll dive in a little bit more. Yeah, Zach just told us under the hood, your SquadCast subscription will be $0 after linking. So
that's too much for me, actually. I would like it to be negative.
Yes, exactly. I would like to earn money. Feature request, pay me to use your tool. Zach's like writing that down like genius. Awesome. Okay, sweet. So apart from the product stuff, and we'll dive in just a bit, Arielle, can you walk us through what's happening with the SquadCast community?
Yeah, so we have an amazing community of folks who use SquadCast. We have traditionally been calling them the Squad Pod. We have a Slack channel. If you are interested in joining that Slack channel, you're welcome to. It's squadcast.fm/community. Would love to have you over there. Ask questions specifically about SquadCast. Over time, we will be sending you to the Discord for Descript. We're going to consolidate the communities as well. But for the next few months, while we're in phase 1, we imagine that there are going to be a lot of questions about SquadCast, about remote recording, about podcasting. So please feel free to join the community, ask those questions there. We also have Facebook groups. So if you go to SquadCast on Facebook, you can check out our Facebook groups. One is for remote recording in general. One is for SquadCast specifically. So please feel free to join those groups as well. We also love highlighting folks who use SquadCast and now SquadCast by Descript. So if you are interested in sharing an episode that you've recorded with SquadCast by Descript, please go to squadcast.fm/share. Submit squad shots. That's when you take a picture of yourself in a SquadCast session. You can submit pre-roll ads that we might put on our podcast. We might do an Instagram Q&A with you. We really just want to highlight the folks who are using SquadCast by Descript. So please feel free to go to squadcast.fm/share. Marcelo says, "Damn, we need that in Descript. That's cute." Yes, it is. Love that idea. Thank you for the kind words. We really just love showing people off. So that is the extent of the SquadCast community. And like I said, over time, it will consolidate. But for the next few months, while there are tons of questions out there, while we're kind of doing orientation for Descript for Squadcasters, and while we're doing orientation for SquadCast for Descriptors or Descript folks, then yeah, please join our community, ask us questions, hit us up. We're extremely available. Too available. To a fault.
Exactly. Yeah. So I just joined the Slack last night.
Made your first post. It was great.
I made my first post. So brave. And also we just created a new Discord channel dedicated to SquadCast stuff and remote recording in our Discord community. So would love to invite SquadCasters over to introduce yourself in the Discord, join that channel. Already some really good questions being asked in there and just excitement about this. So yeah, definitely go hang out. Same with social media, I would say too. Like it'll just be, we'll follow the product's lead. Like we will slowly sort of be consolidating under the Descript roof. So like follow Descript on social, join our events and stuff like that. But like the essence of the SquadCast community isn't going anywhere. It's just joining Descripts and making us even stronger, which I'm really excited about.
Stronger than ever.
Exactly. Hashtag that.
Political campaign slogan, but we'll take it.
Exactly. Cool. Okay. What we covered this a couple times, but Arielle, if I need help or have questions, what do we do?
Help.descript.com. Burn it into your brain. It's the best place to go for articles, but also to submit a ticket. It's pretty much your direct pipeline to Marcelo.
Yep.
We
Exactly.
Have, that Discord channel. Like Christiana said, we have folks from our support team who are hanging out there who may answer your questions. But of course, the most direct place is help.descript.com. Say it with me now. Say it out loud, folks. Help.descript.com.
I mouthed it because I got scared we would like crosstalk and it would be awkward. But yeah, could not have said it better myself. Marcelo does weekly office hours in our Discord as well, where you can chat and ask for specific demos. It's awesome. So yeah, hop in there and ask away. Okay, great. And then last question before I think we can start hitting some audience Q&As. Something I've been seeing a lot is can I still use a different remote recording tool? Is that possible now?
Yeah, you absolutely can. We, of course, want to encourage you to use SquadCast, which is now going to be right within Descript. It's going to be cheaper for you to do that rather than paying for another remote recording service. However, However, you absolutely are welcome to use a different remote recording service and then to download that audio and then upload that audio into Descript to start your editing process. Totally up to you. We think it's going to be a little bit clunky, but we think SquadCast is really going to do it for you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Anything you want to hit, Arielle, before we jump into live Q&A?
Yeah, I think just let me reiterate that there is a 0 time to import your transcription when you record with SquadCast by Descript, rather than if you use a different remote recorder. So that's just another thing to consider. Is yes, you can use another remote recording tool, but we're just making it extremely easy for you, all within Descript. And it does not go against your monthly transcription allotment. And I think a lot of folks will have questions about that. So definitely wanted to reiterate that. Thank you, Marcelo, for the note. Also, another thing is that if you have joined us late, we will have a replay available, and we're going to share it all around on emails. We're also going to have it on social, so no worries there. Also, if you have questions over the next few minutes, please put them into the Ask a Question tab. We will get to them. Anything else, Christiana?
I think we're ready. I think we covered it. So Zach, I would love to bring you up on stage to join us.
And you may be familiar with Zach, folks, because he was a star 2 days ago during our season 5 event.
Exactly.
Hi, Zach.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
How you doing?
Pretty good. Yeah, been working hard to get this integration out and launched and landed and everybody on board and using it. Things are looking great. So, knock
So
on
for
wood.
folks who don't know, Zach is one of the co-founders, and he's the CEO of SquadCast. Now he's at Descript. Zach, what is your title now?
Yeah, I gotta get used to saying former CEO. But
Exited.
always co-founder. Yes, that doesn't change.
There you go.
Yeah, my new role within Descript, in addition to still running SquadCast because it is its own product and everything associated with that, I'm an engineering manager on the recorder team. So that being inclusive now of SquadCast, but also really exciting things to come for the recording experience within the Descript app proper. So that's really where the mid and long term, as you both were mentioning earlier, will take us, is to eventually get, what people love and have asked us for and want to see in SquadCast will come to life in the Descript experience over time. But as you can imagine, both apps are sophisticated, advanced, cutting edge pieces of technology. So putting them together is not a simple task. And we think it deserves some love and TLC attention to get it right. So we'll put that in.
Amazing. Well, if it's all right with both of you, I think I'll just start firing off audience questions your way. How does that sound?
Let's do it.
Okay, cool. First up, if you have multiple SquadCast accounts, can you link them both to a single Descript account?
Multiple SquadCast accounts?
Is that
the question?
Yes. Yeah.
I think maybe what they mean is different shows. So let's talk about that, like seats and shows and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all good. So what you're connecting here, just to be a little more specific, is within SquadCast, if you have a subscription, you have an organization. And that is equivalent to, on the Descript side of this, that's equivalent to your drive. So you could have multiple orgs on SquadCast side. You can have multiple drives on the Descript side. They're basically one-to-one. And a connection is exactly that. It's one drive to one organization. So if you have two organizations within SquadCast, if that's more specifically what you mean, you can check by clicking on the top left corner of the navigation on SquadCast, your dashboard. It'll open a menu. If there's two organizations in there, you have two subscriptions. You can switch between them and connect both of them using that menu. So you'll do one, connect that to Descript, and then if you want to do the other, you do it a second time, and that'll give you the connection thereafter to not have to pay for SquadCast any longer, But then also, I think it was coming up in the chat about, how many seats and editor kind of relationship here. So Descript isn't changing here, but SquadCast is updated in this particular regard when it comes to, it's effectively unlimited seats now. We used to have kind of limits depending on what plan you were on for the size of these teams, but now you can invite as many people as you want, and those people all have their own individual accounts. You can give them roles to have shared access controls. And then your guest never needs an account with SquadCast. Like, you don't need to invite them, and they don't need a password and all that stuff. That's kind of for you, the creator, but your guest just needs the link for your recording session, and then they can come on and connect and record. Sound great?
Zach, we have a bit of a clarification from Benjamin, who asked this question. He was wondering, he has 2 SquadCast accounts because he's only been able to have 10 people in an account. So what would he do in that situation?
Yeah, he can consolidate those and then connect. So I would choose which org you want to kind of survive on. You're going to eventually deprecate one of them. And now that you can have more than 10 people in your SquadCast organization, you can move those folks over. If they have any shows in that other org, we have a feature to transfer the show ownership from one org to another. So you may want to look up that support doc. We can put it in the chat, but it's pretty easy. It's what you would expect. Like, you kind of copy and then approve the show on both sides. You'd want to do that, and then the invites, the team invites. To remove that limit, though, you'll want to first connect your account. So probably move the shows over, connect the account you want to survive, and then you won't have this limit of seats, and you can invite people over to the organization that you want to be the consolidation. And then I think you're good after that. Yeah. So I think you're just kind of ran into the limit previously. That limit is no longer there, but there's a prerequisite that you got to be on one of these new Descript $0 plans. That'll remove the limit. So I would kind of go in that order. And hit us up if that was like confusing or there's a
Benjamin says, yes, I love you all. So I think we got it.
I think we did it.
Phenomenal. Glad we could help.
Awesome. Great. But it looks like folks, kind of building off of that, would love to just have it reiterated how to link these accounts. Like what? So this person asked, if you don't have SquadCast, you need to create an account and then link. So Zach, could you just reiterate what this process is like?
Yeah, if you're starting, it depends on where you're starting from. As you can imagine, these are 2 separate apps, so we have people moving in both directions. So there are actually quite a few scenarios here that we've engineered and designed for. So good news is wherever you're coming in from, the apps, our 2 apps, should take you to the right place. Yes. So it sounds like you're starting from Descript though. So I'll assume that. There's a new button on your drive view in the top right corner. Click New Remote Recording. That'll bring you to SquadCast, where you'll first need to create a new account. That account will just be the $0 new thing. But because we're 2 separate apps, we still need 2 different credentials. So bear with us. Use a password manager. Never try to memorize your passwords. It's a losing battle, trust me. So yeah, you'll need 2 sets of creds. You can make them the same if you want. Same email would be my recommendation. Different password from a security perspective, but whatever makes it easy for you. And then that'll automatically like connect you because we know you came in from Descript. And then after that, you should only need to do it that first time. You can like validate that. Go to your account subscription in SquadCast, and you'll see like $0 and the features you're getting and all that stuff. But the plan you get on SquadCast will match what you have in Descript and all of the features and benefits that come with that plan. You can kind of look at the SquadCast pricing page if you want to get in front of that and kind of see which plan, like if you're on the Descript plan, what's the SquadCast equivalent to that. The SquadCast /pricing page should help connect those dots if you want to check it out in advance. But the app will just do that for you, and you'll need to do it once. Thereafter, you can click that same new remote recording button, and thereafter, future forward, you'll just be taken into a new recording session. We'll basically create an instant session for you and just join you to it immediately. So it's really smooth after that first connection to just click new remote recording, and you're in your session ready to record and connect.
And if anything goes wrong, you can hit up our support team. Again, help.descript.com. There are people there who are specifically fixing any account linking confusion or bugs. So please do feel free to go to, say it with me now, help.descript.com.
And just for some context, we've been seeing pretty minimal issues with that connection process in both directions, big accounts, small accounts, consolidating accounts. Like, it's all good. We did our homework. Really grateful for the SquadCast engineering team, the Descript engineering and product and QA, and everybody behind the camera here who's helped make this smooth from Tuesday forward. We've been doing this many times. So it's very exciting to see people succeed doing the thing that we've been working a couple of months to make happen.
Awesome. Cool. All right. I'm just going to keep firing them at you. You're doing awesome.
I'm rolling.
I want to add to, we're going to make, this is like, if this feels janky to you, it's just because we have 2 apps and we need to keep things secure for credentials and stuff. We don't want anybody to get double charged or anything weird like that. So we got to take some steps to make sure. But this is as janky as it will ever feel.
It will be de-jankified over the month.
all the work thereafter from here will be to integrate these things more. And they're pretty well integrated today with this work, but there is more to be done for sure.
Only up from here, it sounds like, which is pretty exciting. Cool. Okay. Next question. Is there a time limit for using SquadCast for those with a paid Descript account?
The time essentially works the same. So like your transcription time correlates with your recording time in SquadCast. So however much time you're getting from your Descript account, you'll see that also show up in your recording time on SquadCast. They're very similar. And I just want to mention, because there's folks on this session that are new to SquadCast. It was mentioned earlier, I think by you, Arielle, that you can connect and record with like 10 people all at once, up to 10 people. And that doesn't like use 10 hours. It uses 1 hour. If you record for 1 hour with 10 people, it uses 1 hour, not 10. So that's pretty important. And then the other piece is that when you're choosing to use SquadCast over Zoom or other option out there, one, you're bundled. You're only going to have the Descript sub, so you're not paying extra on SquadCast. And then also, extra bonus, Arielle, you mentioned this. It's not going to use any of your transcription time to import these recordings from SquadCast to Descript. It's like basically free transcription time because you use the recording time in SquadCast. So we don't want that to double count for customers of our shared apps. So that's another huge value here, is that you get more transcription time because your SquadCast recordings aren't going to use it. We didn't want you to have like 10 hours of transcription time for that 1 hour conversation that you had. So we've done a lot of thinking about that, how to make it no brainer and, just generally less expensive wherever we had an option to choose how that should behave. Yeah, we erred on the side of cheaper and more.
I also just want to share that if you asked a question in the Ask a Question tab, Marcelo is slowly going through those. So if you asked it, but you're wondering where your answer is, make sure to check back in there for a written answer. We're going to try to get a bunch of those also asked by Christiana out loud, but just in case we are answering them in the chat. I want to ask a question that Dave Jackson posed about the SquadCast affiliate program. I'll do that in a second. Just first want to say I really appreciate all the SquadCasters who are here. So thank you for coming over, and we love seeing your names. Shout out to Mike McAllen. If you're a SquadCaster, let me know. I'll give you a shout out.
What's up, Dave?
Zach, Dave asks, what does this mean for the SquadCast affiliate program?
That is a great question that I don't know off the top of my head. So
Such
I'm
a
not
great
going to try.
question that you've
I'm not
stumped
going
him.
to. I'm not going to try to get it wrong on a live stream. But I have your email. I will follow up with you if anybody else has questions about that. Like, come to the help site, and I'll get an article.
Which
basically
is
help.descript.com.
help.descript.com. You got it.
There's also support.squadcast.fm if you want the SquadCast specific docs. So they're all kind of one system now under the hood. So 2 ways to get to the same thing, but they'll be specific to each app. And I'll need to check with Rock on the plan for the affiliate program, but like at a minimum, everything that you've like earned as your commission there, we're gonna continue to honor that. So we're not gonna skimp anybody if you're sending customers over to SquadCast. It's just that the plan, the subscription, stuff has changed, and I'm sure that maybe off the top of your head, Christiana, is there an affiliate or referral program for Descript?
Oh yes, absolutely. I will send that.
Dave's probably on it already, probably on both. So yeah, we'll find a way to make that
We'll
easy
put a link
and
in the
obvious.
chat for that.
Yeah.
Just through that.
I might get an answer while we're still on here. I'm gonna like check right now. So.
And I saw Matt Kundle is in the chat. Hi, Matt. And hi, Keith, both Squadcasters. So I promised to shout out. There's your shout out.
There you go. Awesome. Cool. This sounds like a technical question about how SquadCast works. So I'm going to pull that up. So will each guest have its own audio track, and will the track stay operate when imported into Descript for eventual export into a DAW for mix and finish work?
All of that, yes.
Awesome.
Yep. So we record everybody separate. Even within one person, you get separate formats. So you'll get a WAV audio file and an MP4 video. Even though the MP4 also has the audio in it, we want you to be off to a great start with editing your podcast or your YouTube content.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to share a lightweight version with somebody who's like on the go, on an airplane, at the airport, or whatever, there's also an option to share an MP3, which is going to be easier on everybody's network and downloads and all that stuff. So bunch of options there. And then, I'm going to assume operate means like in sync and working together, like relative to each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of our intellectual property of our recording engine at SquadCast is the like normalization of any sort of drift that can happen between multiple tracks or multiple speakers. And then also making sure that within one audio file, you don't want the audio to be desynced from the video of that one person, like old school kung fu movies. We don't want that. So all of that should be smooth for you. We've done a lot of work to make sure that all you got to do is show up, click record. You'll get all those files, and they're all going to be easy to work with in Descript and wherever you edit, quite frankly. But we want that to be Descript.
Yeah, we're biased.
It's also worth noting, like, let's say you're not into this whole collaboration. You're like, Zach, you're way too collaborative. Like, we just want SquadCast. You can still use SquadCast without connecting or anything. That's something we didn't want to disrupt any customers who are on, like, we have a lot of folks on legacy kind of grandfathered plans. And, this is something that's evolved over time with the different subscriptions that we've had at SquadCast. So whatever makes the most sense for you. Just if you have questions, let us know about your specific sitch, and we'll look up and say what we recommend for your setup, what would save you the most money, get you the most bang for your buck.
Zach, let's briefly touch on audio drift. How does SquadCast prevent that?
Yeah, we normalize the audio tracks to a standard sample rate. We do a lot of things to make sure that the recordings start and stop at the same time. There are exceptions to that. Like if your guest comes in 10 minutes after you click start recording, we're not going to like add 10 minutes of silence to your guest file. That would be destructive in our view. But we make it easy to kind of put them back together, and they're timestamped so you know when things happen. But yeah, you can. It's a weird flex, but I can put the link to the patent in the chat, and that outlines specifically how that works. So if you're into that, it's public information, and it's something that we have done for a long time. We've had audio recording since day one on SquadCast. Video was added, partway through the journey because it was our most requested feature. But yeah, this we also have it was one of our first blog posts was about normalizing audio drift. So we've been doing this for several years now. Feel pretty confident in it.
Awesome. Cool.
I will say, this is why we recommend not using Bluetooth for your microphone, is because it has a variable sample rate that can mess with timing. So anything that has like a rate in its label, unit of measure, is equivalent to some sort of measure of time. So that's why we recommend not using like AirPod microphones. You can use them as headphones, like I'm literally doing right now. You're not hearing me through my AirPod mic though. You're hearing me through my fancy mic. So that's just me making sure my settings are dialed in. But the variable sample rate microphones, I wouldn't recommend using them because you're going to get timing issues, and there's no amount of like code that we can write to add the missing data there.
We recommend wired headphones always. Just wanted to really make that clear. It's not just no Bluetooth. It is wired, please. It'll make everything better.
Yeah. You'll see it in the app. It'll nudge
ones
you.
that come with the iPhone. When you get a new iPhone, it's better than an AirPod.
Totally.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna grab a YouTube question. From Ryan, with this transition, do I lose the recording hours I paid for at SquadCast but haven't used yet?
Nope. I think it's only additive thereafter.
Great.
Thereafter Tuesday, everything before Tuesday is the new math of the new plans. Once you're on one of those ones, you'll see the math's a little different because Descript does it's not a straight up like you get 10 hours a month. It's like how many editors do you have? Times some amount that you get per month. So I think that actually ends up working out more. The more editors you have, you get more recording time. But yeah, if you've like bought some hours on SquadCast like last week, or you have time that rolled over from last month, all good. Yeah, that should still be there. And you can confirm that for yourself in your account recording time ledger, expand that guy, and you'll see like the equivalent of like a bank account, a ledger of your time, both added and subtracted as you've recorded and as subscription invoices have gone through.
Awesome. Cool. Okay. This is a good one. Will the SquadCast interface change? And if so, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about what that might look like.
I mean, we're always changing it. Like, even if we weren't doing this fancy collaboration and awesome value add for creators everywhere, it's even by the time we publish a support doc that has a screenshot of our UI, it's deprecated shortly thereafter because we are always making improvements and tweaks. And we do beta and stuff like that. We have process upstream to make sure that stuff's all good. But you might notice it's changed a little bit already. There's more edit and Descript buttons around. There's this new banner at the top to connect your Descript account. Might look a little more blue over time. We're not sure. We're not sure at this point, but we want to be working on the hardest problems, the most valuable problems to solve for the creators that we serve. So if you're into that, let me know. I'm a designer at heart, in addition to being all these other hats. And if there's an improvement you want to see or something new, we're always into that.
Love it. Cool. All right, 10 minutes left. Let's see how many more of these we can hit.
I think Rock. Okay, just checking. We're still looking into the affiliate question, Dave. If you're still on with us, but
I think
we might see you next week at Podcast Movement, and if whatever happens first, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
It will not be a surprise. Let's just state that.
Make sure if you are coming to Podcast Movement that you come to our booth and say hello. I believe it is 207. Does that sound right, Christiana?
Either that or 702. Just look for the puppy booth. We're across from the puppy area.
We're across from the puppies. So if you're going to be in Denver at Podcast
wow.
Movement next week, we would love to see you. Say hello.
Grab
the code
some
word,
swag.
or if you were at this event, is puppies. And then we'll be like, oh, thanks for being at our community town hall. We appreciate that.
There you go. You could even challenge us to cornhole. Word on the street is there will be some cornhole at our booth. So,
Oof. That's fun.
Yeah, should be good. Okay, awesome. Next question. Longtime SquadCaster podcaster. That's a tongue twister. Say that 5 times fast. They say, well done, brilliant move. Question. Will we be able to create audiograms like with Headliner?
Yes. Yeah, I think Descript does this really well and has done for a while. So I'll let you two talk about this one, because it should just be a matter of once you get your files from SquadCast into Descript and look out in the SquadCast app, there's like edit and Descript buttons wherever your files are. That'll make it really easy to send these files over. You don't have to download giant files, multiple, and then re-upload, import, etc. We can like cleverly move them from cloud to cloud and save you a bunch of time, so you can create more audiograms and content for your audience.
Yeah, I have been, if you follow me on Twitter or LinkedIn, if you don't, you're welcome to, but I have been posting for the last 2 months audiograms from Descript, kind of as like let's try to figure out if somebody can tell what's happening between SquadCast and Descript, but also to promote my own podcast. And I love making them. You can really vary when it comes to the size, the asset ratio, all that kind of stuff.
They're templates, right? It's the templates
exactly. There's templates that you can use, tons of different templates, or you can go rogue and do your own thing and then save your own thing as a template.
Exactly.
Customize, all that good stuff. Yeah.
And yes. Yeah.
Marcelo just threw an audiogram help or support link in there. Go check that out. We also check out our YouTube live events playlist. We have a dedicated hour-long event to making social videos. So like completely customizing promotional clips for social. It's one of my favorite features or things that you can do with Descript. I think like repurposing content is a huge unlock. We have a whole template gallery, so you can totally do this. Go check it out.
And respect to the folks at Headliner too. I think they do awesome things there. And shout out to Neil and the team. They've always been great friends of ours. So check like you can move between all 3 of these apps if you really want to, get creative and have a lot of creative control. So wherever you're coming from to, all that stuff's gonna work for you. And getting SquadCast recordings into Descript's never been easier. And there's a whole bunch of features where like realizing that both like on both apps, where like people ask us for like, I want background removal on my real-time, conversation in SquadCast, which now you can do through your OS settings, by the way, if you want to do that. But if you want to do that in post-production through Descript, like the background removal feature works really awesome. So there's a ton of things that are like, instead of like adding a clipping feature to SquadCast, like move your files to Descript and you get all that great clipping and template and full-on editing if you really want to like, make a 3-hour sizzle reel, whatever you're into.
If you are wondering where the answers to your questions are, if you asked a written question, you can look over to the right. There is a question tab, and you should be able to filter by answered questions. And I just want to reiterate, we have about 7 minutes left for this chat, but just because it can only be an hour long does not mean we are giving up on answering your questions. We have so many places where you can stay in touch with us. We've got our Discord channel. We would love for you to be there. We've got the SquadCast Slack channel. That's squadcast.fm/community to join. We also have help.descript.com if you have a specific question that you need personal support for. And we will never stop answering your questions. We do not want to leave anybody hanging. So please don't feel like you didn't get your question answered. We just only had an hour to do this.
Totally. Yes. Please talk to us. We love chatting with users and customers, and we're very online. Your community managers are on Twitter, so
Too much.
yeah. So definitely chat with us as much as
And now
you
there's
like.
2 of you. It's
And
like, man.
I've also been told by Erica, shout out to Erica, that the Descript booth is apparently 200, not 207. Not sure where I got not sure where I got 207 from.
Easy to remember. 200.
Yeah, or just like look for our incredibly iconic logo, so you won't miss us.
There you go.
I think she actually wrote 700. Podcast Movement app says Descript is in booth 700.
700. Okay, my brain is
So
not
not 2.
I also read 2. So I was like, wait. But then I copy and pasted it over to the captions, and I was like, wait, what has happened? And
Marcelo wants everybody to know that if you look for his hair, you will know you're in the right place.
Yes, exactly.
Or my lack of it.
Right, juxtaposition.
Yes. Should we hit up a few other questions and then close it out?
Let's do it. Yes. Here's a good one. Does SquadCast work on mobile, or do you have a mobile app?
You don't need a mobile app. You can do it right from your browser on any device. So that includes mobile. Yeah. We're very proud of that. And whatever browser / mobile device you're using, we've supported Android since... I know how to say it. Yeah, we've supported Android since like version 2 of SquadCast, and we're like 5 dot something nowadays. And then iOS support we've had for over a year now. I think it might still have the beta label on it, but like, you know, basically safe to disregard that at this point. I don't think we've removed it. We have a lot of people record on iPad and iPhone and all that stuff. And yeah, cool. Anywhere you're connecting from. And the good thing about it being the web instead of an app is that your guest probably doesn't want to install an app for like a 1 hour long conversation. Right. They just click the link wherever they're coming in from. Obviously with mobile, you're going to be better off with at least a Wi-Fi connection, you know, in addition to like your mobile connectivity. But we have people who like to push it. So that's, you know, just something to keep in mind. We've had people do all sorts of crazy recording stuff. Because when you say anywhere in the world, it's like, can I do it from a boat in the Bahamas? Yeah, turns out you can. I've personally recorded from a Southwest flight on their $5 Wi-Fi audio and video, just to really test progressive upload.
That's awesome.
In like the worst internet connection, you know, conditions you could imagine. And I can send you those files for proof.
And I just want to say that wherever you do record, we would love to see a squad shot. Again, a squad shot is we have a button built into the interface. You can just press the camera button, take a picture of you and your guests, and then it even gets branded with your podcast cover art on there or your show cover art on there, and then you can share it on social. And we love to retweet those. So again, please take a squad shot.
Yeah, it's right next to the record button, and it'd be a cool like countdown and flash, and then you'll get it to preview. You can do it again. If somebody wants to sit it out, they can too. There's all that stuff. Nobody's forced to record or take any pictures. Yeah.
Should we do one more question?
Yeah, I think I've got a good one here to end on. All right. What other improvements can we expect soon? Like what's next?
4K video recording in SquadCast. I just used this morning, so you know, hot off the press. It's not out yet, but it will be shortly. I'm told by very talented engineers who I trust. So awesome. Yeah, that is right around the corner, as well as just like more awesomeness in the Descript app. Our team's working on both apps simultaneously. So yeah, let us know what you're into beyond that. But I think 4K is going to be a really big one, and you'll have the option to choose like your resolution. Like we have basically that same experience today for 1080.
Yeah.
The default's 720 because that's what most computers still are these days. But if you want to turn it up to 1080 and soon 4K, you can do that. You can also turn audio quality up to like raw PCM, which, caveat, these are going to make your files larger. So just be mindful of that when it comes to the dependency on you and your guest internet connectivity. But SquadCast has like upload stats, upload progress, network stats. You can look at all that stuff in the SquadCast studio while you're recording to make sure this connection's healthy. They're not struggling. My upload's happening, at a good clip. And, your guest, if they need to stick around for like 30 seconds after you click stop, it'll tell them and make sure everybody's file gets up to you.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Cool.
Zach.
Exciting note to finish off on.
Thank you both.
This was awesome.
Thanks everyone for the questions.
Yeah, thank you for answering them, both of you. This was helpful for me. I know it was helpful for our audience. And yeah, I just want to say again, congratulations to both of you. And it's been so fun to see the love that y'all have been getting and Descript has been getting too. But like, it's so clear you built a really amazing community around SquadCast, and we're really lucky to have you here at Descript. So, so glad you're here. Thank you everybody in the audience for being awesome, asking amazing questions. We'll hope to see you at a future live event or next week IRL. You can find us on all.
Let's give it up for everybody who made this event happen
Yeah.
today. Like Christiana, Marcelo, Rocks in the chat, everybody who helped and showed up.
And all the
Like,
folks
this
who have
is,
already linked their accounts. You are the real pioneers.
Yep. Great job.
So awesome.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, Marcelo, so many questions answered in that Q&A. You're the best. And yeah, more from this team coming soon. And we'll see ya. Thanks, everybody.
See you on Discord and help.descript.com.
We need a jingle for that.